I do too, just for safety. Right, Peter.
Hi.
Lovely to finally meet you.
You too.
I think you're kind of a folk legend now in our eyes because we haven't met you. We've heard so much about you.
Yeah, Gassi's a good salesperson.
You ready for Silverstone? You ready to smash it?
Yeah, it's been a couple of months, which is not ideal. We had a really good roll for the first 2 rounds, so nice to would have been nice to keep that momentum. But yeah, we're all set. So it looks like the weather should be all right, which is unusual for a British summer. But no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good fun.
Nice. Yeah, because like Silverstone always provides the best entertainment. What are you looking forward to the most?
It's a fast circuit, so in a GT3, it sort of maximises the performance of the car. So, you get to go flat out more on that circuit than you do on most of the others. So, and it's quite a wide one, so there's plenty of opportunities for overtaking. So, it's just main goal for me is to try and best my performance last year from a qualifying point of view. Come away with a win. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so just in the lead up to Silverstone, we've actually got a few questions that we've pre-prepared, and you definitely haven't seen these before.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Just a couple of questions, just different topics really, mental, your abilities, technical things, and just a couple generic ones as well. Are you ready for them?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Right, so when you're at the starting line before the race, what's going through your mind?
It's probably my most chilled time. As soon as I hop in the car, it's I'm in the office, and it's my zone, so it's really just me and my engineer is the only sort of interaction I have. So I'm quite relaxed. When I used to do club racing, I almost used to fall asleep in that time, right? And just quite really zoned out. So any stresses or any worries for the build-up of the race just goes away, and it's actually I really enjoy that time. And then it's just focusing on when the lights change. And then that's instant. I think if you probably had your heart rate, it'll be like 50 before. As soon as your lights go, it spikes straight away. So that's when I switch on. But it's quite a chill time for me. Yeah,
you see that on the F1 grid quite a bit as well when it's a wet race or something and the drivers are just sleeping in their cockpits.
Yeah, different drivers do it different ways. I remember, some drivers just want to talk and jump around and stuff. I just want to shut the rest of the world out and just focus on what I'm doing. So.
Yeah. So beyond, achievement, what drives your passion for racing day in, day out?
I think there's a couple of things. Obviously enjoy it. I think it's important in any sport that you do, especially when we spend so much time doing it. I enjoy the professional challenge of it, which is, often it's you in the car against the track on a time, especially in qualifying. That competition is really good. And then when you're racing, beating everybody else out there and doing it on merit, I think that's, so I enjoy those factors of it. But also the team camaraderie that we have. Endurance racing is a very team-focused sport. So, winning as a team and sharing those results with the team is really important. So I think that would be the main things.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, endurance racing, like you mentioned, is a collaborative thing. So obviously you are sharing your race with Marcus over 2 stints. So over your stint, how do you maintain that concentration, that sharp level of focus you need for driving?
I think it really depends on what's happening around you. I think sometimes the hardest ones to keep your focus on is when you've got a big lead, and it's easier to say, well, I can sort of back off a little bit, but in our races you can't do that because we really have to have sort of full performance over the full 2 hours. So there's a bit of making sure that you stay focused, you don't make a mistake. And probably the hardest thing to do is when you're perhaps on the last lap and you maybe your lead's not as big, and you actually then try and naturally try and tense up a little bit. You just need to relax.
Yeah.
So I think motorsports is a lot of psychological. Especially in longer races, you do 24-hour races, it's very much a mental game, keeping yourself focused over that time. And when I was doing 24-hour races, what I used to do was break the circuit into certain paces, so maybe into 4 sectors. And each time I came around, I wanted to put the tyre exactly on the same spot.
Yeah.
So you would break down that lap into 4 pieces, and then enabled you just to keep focus.
Right.
And what you tend to find is an hour later, somebody would come over the radio and going, an hour into your stint, and you go, where did that go? So you really get into the zone for it. So it's a lot of concentration and focus to do that.
Yeah, and like you mentioned at the start of this interview, preparing for Silverstone, it's been a long wait since the second round of the championship. So how have you maintained this level of fitness, this level of drivability since the last round in Saturday?
I do two main focuses really. A lot of gym work and play tennis for CV, so that keeps your sort of body, because it's quite a physical sport. And then I do simulator work. We have a simulator, and while it's not 100% accurate to the real thing, it certainly keeps your hand-eye coordination in, and remember which way the corners go around a circuit, which is always a bonus, right? So they're probably the two things that I do. Actually, the third thing is you often replay or watch the in-car video or the video of your previous race, or the race you were last time at the circuit, and that sort of reminds you as well. It's very easy, I think, when I'm watching an in-car going, actually, I could probably be a tenth quicker on that corner just by watching it, so that helps as well.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, Sebastian Vettel used to say that after his races he'd have a diary and he'd write, and he had like books and books over the years of every single season. He'd have a new notebook. Yeah. And I just feel like that's not only something you can do for racing, take it into your real life. Obviously keeping journals is something a lot of people do in their teenage years and in their young years, but taking it into your adult life, definitely helpful.
Yeah, and I did try that. I wasn't so successful, but I do have notes from, maybe if Marcus is doing driver training, and last year we say, actually, in this corner, this is where we want to be, and I keep those. And so then, obviously, when we come to the circuit next time, hopefully I've learnt my lessons from the previous years.
Hopefully.